Perek Cheskes Habatim, Daf Lamed Hey, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Tanchum Ben Chana. The Gemara explains when the court implements the legal mechanism of Kol Dalim Gevar. Kol Dalim Gevar, the rationale for a hands-off policy by the court is based on the assumption that the true owner will prevail. He will exert himself more than the thief who realizes his possession may be short-lived. Two parties claimed ancestral rights to a property. Both were not in possession and additionally unable to prove their claims. Rav Nachman decided Kol Da'alim Gevar. The Gemara distinguishes it from two cases where the law is different. Number one, two parties dispute rights to a property received as a gift. Each document dated the same. Rav and Shmuel argue what should be the court's decision. Rav holds Yachloku, divide the property. Shmuel holds Shuda de Dayane, judges must exercise discretionary power, decide who the giver preferred. One may have been a better friend or a closer relative. However, neither opinion suggested Kol Da'alim Gevar. The Gemara answers both parties cannot prove their claims conclusively, even the one who received his document earlier in the day. Therefore, the court has no choice but to intervene. However, where one party may provide new evidence or testimony to support his claim, the court will not impose a settlement they may have to overturn at a later point. Number two, one performs a kinyan chalipin, exchanges a donkey for a cow. The acquisition of the donkey affects acquisition of the cow automatically, regardless of its location. The cow at some time around the kinyan gave birth to a calf, both parties claiming it happened while the mother was in their possession. The law is Yachloku. The court divides the calf's value between them, even though witnesses may in the future testify to the time of the birth. The Gemara answers, this case is Drora de Mamona. Both parties have undisputed ownership of the cow and therefore a legitimate claim to the disputed calf, whereas both may claim ancestral rights to the disputed property, but only one, undeterminable by the court, is the true owner. Therefore, the court must withdraw rather than settle the case. The Gemara brings a machlokus concerning a consequence of Kol Dalim Gevar, occupation of a third party. Nardoi holds the court does not force the third party out of the land since the property may not belong to either party. This is based on a teaching of Rabbi Akiva that one who steals from the public is not a thief. Rav Ashi disagrees. The court forces him to leave on the assumption that it belongs to one party of the dispute. When Rabbi Akiva states one who steals from the public is not a thief, it does not mean he has not stolen. It means he has no way to return it to the victim. Returning it to its prior status does not constitute the mitzvah of Yeshivas Rabbi. It must be returned to its rightful owner. The Gemara qualifies the Mishnah's ruling an occupant requires 3 full years to acquire fields. Rabbi Abba states, if the challenger is seen loading produce on the occupant's shoulders, instead of protesting his occupation, he acquires immediately unless he claims the occupant is a sharecropper. If he intends to maintain his sharecropper status for more than 3 years, he must protest his occupancy and publicize his sharecropper status within the first 3 years. The Gemara proves the validity of such a protest. The Chachamim permitted a borrower to repay a loan by mortgaging produce of his field. This is called the Mashkanta de Surah. A document is written stating the lender is entitled to harvest an amount every year for so many years to pay off the loan. The land then reverts to the borrower. However, after the lender's uncontested occupation for 3 years, he could conceal the document, claiming he purchased the land from the borrower, consequently discredit the Takanas Chachamim. Therefore, the borrower must declare within every 3 years of the arrangement the lender's occupation is for the produce only to collect his debt. Rabbi Yehuda discusses a case where 3 years uncontested occupancy does not constitute a chazakah. A Jew purchased another Jew's property from a Gentile. He cannot acquire it with a chazakah, only with a shtar. Jews were reluctant to protest a Gentile's occupation of their land for fear of reprisal. Therefore, just as a Gentile cannot acquire with a chazakah, so is the law for a Jew claiming he purchased it from a Gentile. However, if he claims he witnessed the Jew's sale to the Gentile, he is believed with amigo that he could have claimed he purchased it directly from the Jew. If you're enjoying DAF in 5, please click on the link below. Become a sponsor. Thank you.